Land Rover, above and beyond.
Grubhub is a delivery app that lets you order any food your heart and stomach desire. So you can order this, or maybe a little bit of this. Order from over 85,000 restaurants nationwide. Grubhub, restaurants you love, delivered.
VisuWorks can do more than just make you see great. The right pair of glasses can make you look amazing too. And our buy one get one free sale is a great time to get a backup pair for when you leave them on a plane, at the game, or at that restaurant. VisionWorks, we're here to help you.
Here we go. Discover, I like your card, but I'm absolutely not paying an annual fee.
Discover has no annual fees.
Really?
Yeah, we just don't believe in them.
Oh, nice. You would not believe how long I've been rehearsing that.
No annual fee on any card, only from Discover.
This is Huntsville, Alabama, aka Rocket City, USA.
This is a very difficult job. Failure is not an option.
More than half of employees across the country bring financial stress to work.
If you're stressed out financially at home, you're going to be too worried to be able to do a good job.
I want to be able to offer all the benefits that keep them satisfied.
It is the people. That is really the only asset that you have.
Put your employees on a path to financial wellness with Prudential. Bring your challenges.
Introducing the new South Beach Diet. I'm Jesse James Decker, and if y'all want to know how I stay in shape, I do it with the South Beach Diet. It's keto friendly.
Lose up to 7 pounds in your first 7 days.
I lost 38 pounds.
South Beach is a low-carb, high-protein, keto-friendly program that burns fat and transforms your metabolism. It's safe and healthy weight loss, easy to follow, and it works.
I lost 30 pounds on the South Beach Diet.
I lost 42 pounds with the South Beach Diet. I'm in the best shape of my life.
Order today, and we'll rush you South Beach, plus a week of all-new Simply Fit shakes free. 20 grams of protein, probiotics, and it's keto-friendly.
I lost 30 pounds on the South Beach Diet.
Call or go online in the next 4 minutes and save 40%.
Trust me, South Beach works.
Go online or call 855-721-PLAN right now and save 40% plus get probiotic keto-friendly shakes free.
Saturday, Van's got 2020 hopeful Julian Castro. Hear his response to the President's State of the Union and how his family's roots helped shape his presidential platform. Plus, Van's in his van with voters to find out what they want in a candidate. The Van Jones Show, Saturday night at 7 Eastern.
President Trump made a lot of claims in support of his building a wall last night, but were they true? We're fact-checking him. Listen to what he said last night about immigration crime. This is a key connection he makes all the time. Listen to the president.
Year after year, countless Americans are murdered by criminal, illegal aliens.
The president there making that claim, and it's one he's made many times. So what are the facts about this? Are immigrants more likely to commit crimes? Here's what we know about stats on immigration and crime broadly. 2018 study by the Libertarian Cato Institute, which reviewed criminal conviction data from the Texas Department of Public Safety, of course, Texas, a border state, found that immigrants, whether illegal or illegal, are in fact less likely than native-born Americans to be convicted of a crime. Have a look at the figures there. It's a big difference. In fact, about half as likely. More broadly, when you look across the country, generally there's been a decrease in the number of violent crimes. This according to the FBI. Other studies have found that murder, rape, robbery, aggravated assault have not increased alongside an uptick in undocumented immigration since 1990. Have a look at this, and keep in mind, these are national studies here. No increase in murder, rape, robbery, and aggravated assault to go with that rise in immigration, illegal immigration. That illegal immigrants do not contribute to an increase in drug overdoses and DUI, or that they engage in crime less than their American or legal immigrant peers. This is a claim that the president has repeatedly made that undocumented immigrants, both during his campaign, he's made this claim as a justification for that wall. And of course, we should note, to attract attention to this claim, this is the second time that he's invited family members of victims of such crime to the State of the Union. So our verdict on this one, as we run it through the CNN fact-checking team, a misleading claim at best. Joining me now for his reaction to this and other claims by the president during his speech, Senator John Kennedy, a Republican from the great state of Louisiana, also a member of the Senate Judiciary Committee. Senator, thanks very much for taking the time this morning.
Thank you, Jim.
So first on that issue, because we've just come out of this fact check here, you've heard the president make this connection before. You're from Louisiana, not exactly a border state, but you're very close to the Mexico border. If this is truly a national crisis, why does the president fudge the facts here? Why not stick to the facts as you're making this argument, particularly when, as you heard, the president last night makes a claim that he wants a more bipartisan, more cooperative environment?
I can't answer that, Jim. You're going to have to ask the president that one. The way I look at it is the way they're giving me directions here from the side. I'm sorry. The way I look at it is illegal immigrants commit crimes, legal immigrants commit crimes, non-immigrant Americans commit crimes. That is not really the issue with respect to immigration. The issue with respect to immigration is that, in my opinion, is that legal immigration, I think we all concede and agree with, makes our country stronger, but illegal immigration is illegal. And one way, and you know how I feel about this, one way, not the only way, but a big part of the way to curtail illegal immigration is through a wall.
Let me ask you this. You heard the president mention bipartisanship a number of times. As you know, the key disagreement here is money for the wall. What we didn't hear from the president is an offer in return. He's demanding money for the wall. He's saying that this is a crisis. What is he willing to offer Democrats to get them to the table? I mean, as you know better than me, Washington's about horse trading here. Why not an offer from the president to say, okay, listen, work with me on this. I will work with you, for instance, on permanent protection for the Dreamers.
One of the most difficult lessons I've learned in life and in politics is that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. I think the president does deserve credit for trying to be conciliatory last night. He's not a turn the other cheek kind of guy. I think he believes if you turn the other cheek too far, you just get it in the neck. And that hurts him sometimes in terms of reaching people that don't hear his ideas. The president, and maybe this is one of those cases, the president has put a plan on the table. I think he is willing to trade border security for DACA relief. He has talked about the importance, as has Speaker Pelosi, the importance of securing our ports of entry, for example, and the use of technology in terms of border security. The times I've talked to the president on this issue, he's never been angry with Speaker Pelosi. He's never said an ugly word, and he's always told me, look, I'm willing to sit down with the Democrats and try to work something out here. This is really not meant to be a political statement. This is just my point of view. I think the ball here is in Speaker Pelosi's court. And she's just got to decide whether she thinks or thinks a barrier or a wall or whatever we're calling it today, whatever the politically correct term is, whether it's necessary or not, and whether it's politically palatable to her.
But you know as well as me, and listen, I will grant you that the speaker has dug her heels. Other Democrats have dug their heels on this issue, saying at times not a single dollar for the wall, although we have heard signs from her in the caucus that maybe they will give money here. But let's be frank, again, you know as well as me that to get this done, you're going to need compromise on both sides.
Sure.
What does that compromise look like in your view? If you were sitting in that room of 17 bipartisan senators and lawmakers, what would be your proposal to get this over the finish line to avoid another shutdown?
Well, if I were king for a day, I'm not, and I don't aspire to be. The first thing I would do is go right to the bottom line with the speaker. I would ask the speaker to attend the meetings because she's calling the shots behind the scenes. And I'd probably get everybody out of the room, and I would say, Madam Speaker, look, let's cut to the chase here. Are you going to agree to any sort of wall, barrier, fence, whatever the politically correct term is, whatever the term she's most comfortable with? And if she's willing to work with us there, then we can come up with an agreement. It would probably include other forms of border security. It would include some sort of legal protection, my guess is, for DACA. But if she's not willing to do that, for whatever reason, she doesn't think it's necessary, she doesn't want to do it because of the politics, then we're wasting our time. And it's time to move on. I think what's going to happen, if that happens on the 15th, is the president's going to declare a national emergency. It's not my preferred choice, but unlike some of my Senate colleagues, the sun will come up the next day, and it'll probably be tied up in litigation, which I regret, but eventually the courts will decide.
Well, how do Americans, what do you say to your constituents? It's Congress's job by the Constitution to make decisions about how money is spent here. And I know that there's this national emergency law passed in the 1970s, but the fact is it has never been used for a significant funding request like this that a president can't get through Congress. And as you said, your Republican colleagues, some of them big supporters of the president, John Cornyn among them, have said this is a constitutional question. Why is that not a constitutional question? Shouldn't it be up to the Senate and the House to be able to sort this out rather than throw it to a national emergency declaration?
Good questions. Number one, Jim, I think if it's litigated, and it probably would be, the constitutional issues would be raised. Number two, the White House has some good lawyers. My guess is they're not going to act in terms of a national emergency without basing it on statutory power that the president already has. Now, who gave the president that statutory power? The United States Congress. You can debate whether we should or shouldn't have done it, but we did it. And I've done enough research. I'm not an expert in the area, but I've done enough research to know that if the president decides to go that route, his claims will be heard. He won't be thrown out of court for frivolous litigation.
Senator John Kennedy.
I'm not recommending.
Sorry, go ahead.
We ought to work this out. But just speaking for me personally, I'm not willing to just say to Speaker Pelosi, look, it is possible to secure 1,900 miles of real estate without a barrier, because I don't believe that. And I think experience shows that it's not true. And I think I say this gently and with all the respect I can muster. I think Speaker Pelosi has got to decide here how much policy, how important policy is here and how important politics is here. I know she doesn't like the president.
To be fair, the president will have to decide as well, because
Sure.
to get the ball over the line,
Absolutely.
both sides are going to have to work together. Senator John Kennedy, always appreciate you having you on the show. Wish you the best of luck.
Thanks, Jim.
Days before, Senator Elizabeth Warren is set to give a major 2020 announcement in a new controversy surrounding her heritage. Could that threaten her potential run?
Dare to be devoted. Jared. Give the gift of devotion with our incredible selection of jewelry, including hundreds of pieces under $2.99. Dare to be devoted. Only at Jared.
Mom? Want to try grown in Idaho super crispy frozen fries? Cut from 100% real Idaho potatoes. They bake up crispy on the outside and tender on the inside.
Sure, thanks.
Grown in Idaho super crispy fries.
We use Angie's List because we can always find great local pros.
For any type of home project.
I use Angie's List because it's free.
Free to read reviews.
Check their ratings.
They can even match my project to qualified pros.
Go to angieslist.com today.
You might take something for your heart or joints, but do you take something for your brain? With an ingredient originally discovered in jellyfish, Prevagen has been shown in clinical trials to improve short-term memory. Prevagen, healthier brain, better life.
We are KiwiCo, and we deliver hands-on STEM projects designed to inspire young innovators. Kids of all ages can explore science, engineering, art, and more. Get your first month free. Visit trykiwico.com.
What you don't see can hurt you. If you just monitor your credit, you can miss some identity theft threats. LifeLock now includes Norton to help protect you from even more threats. Join now at LifeLock.com.
Welcome to our busy world, where we all want more energy, but with less carbon footprint. That's why at BP, we're working to make energy that's cleaner and better. We're producing cleaner burning natural gas and solar and wind power. And wherever your day takes you, we have advanced fuels for a better commute. And we're developing ultra-fast charging technology for EVs. At BP, we see possibilities everywhere, so we can all keep advancing.
TrueCar is great for finding new cars. You're smart, you already knew that. But it's also great for finding the perfect used car. You'll see what a fair price is, and you can connect with a TrueCar certified dealer. Now you're even smarter. This is TrueCar.
Sometimes a cough gets in the way of a good night's sleep. That's when he needs Vicks VapoRub, proven cough medicine with 8 hours of vapors, so he can sleep. Vicks VapoRub. Good night, coughs.
I'm Mark Zuckerberg, founder of Facebook.
The most powerful social media company on earth, now in crisis. Facebook insiders talk exclusively with CNN.
Do you think you'll be on the right side of history?
Facebook at 15. It's complicated. Sunday at 9.
Liberty Mutual accident forgiveness means they won't hike your rates over one mistake. See? Liberty Mutual doesn't hold grudges.
For drivers with accident forgiveness, Liberty Mutual won't raise their rates because of their first accident. Switch and you could save $782 on home and auto insurance. Call 1-888-408-3155 for a free quote today. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
From Harlem to Hollywood, Black entertainment has shaped the nation's music, fashion, movies, and television. From breaking barriers and ceilings to breaking the box office and the internet. But now, from the center and behind the scenes, on the big screen and online, there's a new renaissance of Black entertainment. Catch it all on the go and at home. Just say, show me Black film and TV. Xfinity, where Black history is always on.
New day. Tomorrow morning starting at 6 Eastern on CNN.
Welcome back. Senator Elizabeth Warren is expected to formally announce her 2020 bid in just 2 days, but she is facing another political crisis over her past self-identification as Native American. According to the Washington Post, Warren filled out, quote, American Indian as her race, this on a registration card for the Texas State Bar in 1986. It is the first document that appears to show Warren making the claim in her own handwriting. CNN national political correspondent MJ Lee has more details. And MJ, we've seen this before. What's, I suppose, remarkable about this is seeing in her handwriting here. What's her answer to all this?
That's right, and simply the fact that she is not able to put this issue to rest, just another headline that has revived the entire Native American controversy. The Washington Post reporting last night on a Texas bar registration card from 1986, where she wrote the words American Indian to describe her race. This is around the time when she was working at the University of Texas Law. There you have it there, the visual. Now, a Warren aide tells CNN that they are not disputing the authenticity of that form, and they are not disputing the fact that this was, in fact, Elizabeth Warren's own handwriting, though I should note they are making the point that this was not a part of the bar application, but rather a form that she filled out after she was already admitted to the bar. Obviously a distinction that they're trying to make here, but it is politically so noteworthy because, as you said, Jim, it is the first example where we appear to see an explicit example of Warren describing herself as Native American, as opposed to previous examples where it may not have necessarily been clear whether it was Warren or perhaps somebody else that filled out the forms. Now, after the story, Elizabeth Warren is repeating her apology through a spokesperson. Let me just read what she had to say. She said in a statement to CNN, as Senator Warren has said, she is not a citizen of any tribe, and only tribes determine tribal citizenship. She is sorry that she was not more mindful of this earlier in her career. Now, all of this, of course, comes after the apology that Senator Warren made to Cherokee leaders last week. This had to do, of course, with the DNA test results that she released earlier. Now, the timing of all of this is not good politically for Elizabeth Warren, given the fact that she is expected to formally announce her presidential campaign on Saturday. Jim?
Yeah, not good timing, to say the least. MJ Lee, we know you're going to stay on top of the story. The Democratic investigations on the Hill, they're heating up. And the president's message? Shut them down.
Looking good. At Booking.com, we can't guarantee you'll be good at that water jet thingy, but we can guarantee the best price on this hotel or any accommodation, from homes to yurts. Booking.com. Booking.yeah.
Well, it's time to switch car insurance.
Hey, I think we have a winner. Amica Car Insurance.
Wasn't Dave at the office talking about some great company?
Amica is crushing it with customer reviews.
Why do squirrels run back and forth like that? Pick a direction.
Look at all these discounts.
Amica, that was the company.
I know what we should call for car insurance.
Call Amica now and get ready for a unique experience. We'll ask more questions and guide you to the right decision. Welcome to Amica. This is helpfulness insured.
Fly Qatar Airways and experience the world like never before. Qatar Airways, going places together.
You were right about cargo risk.
What's that?
I said you were right. I still can't believe the deal we found on this car.
So easy.
The way Cargo's rates deals from gray to overpriced.
Then sorts them so you see the best deals first. Pretty sweet. You think the traffic's cleared yet?
It's not too bad. Heck of a game.
Mm-hmm. Go to CargoRoost today to find great deals from top-rated dealers near you.
I lost 25 pounds on Jenny Craig.
From a top diet 9 years straight comes Rapid Results by Jenny Craig. Lose up to 16 pounds in just 4 weeks with food you love. Eat 6 times a day with no prepping or cooking.
You have your breakfast, lunch, and dinner ready to go. It's all laid out for you.
So you can get on with your day and watch the pounds melt off.
Man up, give them a call.
For 1 week only, you can save 85% on Jenny Craig's premium program. Plus, get $120 in free food.
Welcome to Atlantis, where unexpected moments become lifelong memories on an island called Paradise at a place called Atlantis.
Book your Bahamas getaway by February 11th at 1-800-ATLANTIS or AtlantisBahamas.com.
We decided to go with Bathfitter after doing a lot of research.
Yeah, we loved how they could install a new tub right over the old one without tearing our bathroom apart.
Yeah, what we didn't expect was to be blown away by the quality. And that's what happened. They showed up in the morning, and by the end of the day, we had this absolutely beautiful new bathtub. It was better than we could have even imagined.
And it's guaranteed for life.
I actually love our bathroom now.
Book your free in-home consultation today. Call or visit bathfitter.com.
To those with diabetes, mealtime is really time to think about insulin. When do I prepare? Where do I inject? But Afrezza lets you inhale your insulin when food arrives, even unexpectedly. So you can be spontaneous and not rely solely on injections.
Afrezza is a rapid-acting inhaled insulin used to control adult diabetes. Afrezza can cause serious side effects, including sudden lung problems and low potassium. Afrezza is not for patients with chronic lung disease such as asthma or COPD. Tell your doctor if you smoke, recently stopped smoking, have ever had kidney or liver problems, a history of lung cancer, or if you are pregnant or breastfeeding. Most common side effects are low blood sugar, cough, and sore throat. Severe low blood sugar can be fatal. Do not replace long-acting insulin with Afrezza. Afrezza is not for use to treat diabetic ketoacidosis. Do not take Afrezza if you are allergic to insulin.
Get some dessert.
Talk to your doctor before changing your Afrezza dose. Blood sugar may need to be checked more frequently.
Ask your doctor if Afrezza inhalable insulin is right for you.
He's interviewed 5 U.S. presidents, authored 7 books, and has an independent voice that resonates.
What happened to when we were united against a common enemy?
He's raw, unique, and one of America's most important talk show hosts. Watch Smirconish, Saturday mornings at 9 Eastern.
Right smack in the middle of a week of blockbuster hearings into the administration, the president makes clear what he thinks about all these probes.
An economic miracle is taking place in the United States. And the only thing that can stop it are foolish wars, politics, or ridiculous partisan investigations. If there is going to be peace and legislation, there cannot be war and investigation.
A little rhyming there by the president. Just today, the House Intelligence Committee is voting on releasing Russia investigation transcripts on Friday. The president's former attorney, Michael Cohen, is testifying in a closed-door hearing, and acting Attorney General Matt Whitaker, he will be facing lawmakers in a separate, very public hearing. Lots of questions for him. Joining me now, Democratic Congressman David Cicilline. He's a member of the House Foreign Affairs and Judiciary Committees, very much involved in these investigations. Thanks very much for joining us.
My pleasure.
I want to ask you about the president's comment there, because I'm sure you do not agree with him that these investigations are flawed or unnecessary. That said, I wonder if you're concerned that your constituents, do they say to you, listen, guys, don't get too in the weeds on the investigations. Bring something home to me. Work on infrastructure. Work on drug prices. Are you hearing any of that kind of information?
Well, I mean, what we're hearing is, Democrats ran on a very specific agenda to drive down the cost of healthcare, particularly prescription drugs, to raise family incomes by investing in rebuilding the infrastructure of our country, the bold infrastructure.
And the president mentioned that.
And taking on the pervasive corruption in Washington and reducing the influence of money in our political system. We're going to deliver on those promises. We can do that, and we should do that. At the same time, we have a responsibility to do our constitutionally required oversight that requires investigations and hearings. It was sort of shocking to hear the President of the United States use this moment in the State of the Union to deliver an address to the people of this country and to talk about, don't do investigations. It was very peculiar. It is not going to dissuade Democrats from doing what we're required to do. Our Republican colleagues haven't done oversight for the last 2 years, so we have a lot of work to do. But we're going to do both things. The American people expect us to hold this administration accountable, and they expect us to deliver on the urgent challenges facing their families.
Your reaction in a statement last night to the State of the Union speech, you said the president's speech was long, self-absorbed, divorced from reality. It was short on details, long on hypocrisy. The American people deserve better. He did, however, call for compromise. We noted, because I was fact-checking the speech last night, that he left many of his more egregious lies, for instance, about terrorists coming across the border. He didn't repeat those. Are you willing to at least give him a chance to deliver on that?
Look, I think the challenge we face is it's very hard to take the president seriously when he talks about unity. I mean, here's a president who has behaved and spoken in such divisive ways that it's hard to take him seriously if he says, I want to unite the country. I don't think he's capable of doing that as a result of the last 2 years. But I think what was really striking is he talked about protecting pre-existing conditions. Mm-hmm. And my Republican colleagues cheered him. Yeah. Yet the president put forth Trump Care that took away coverage for pre-existing conditions. All the Republicans voted for it. If the president's serious about that, this morning he should call on the Republican attorneys general who are litigating and trying to take away pre-existing condition coverage and tell them to stop that lawsuit. He should direct his Department of Justice to reverse their position and defend coverage for pre-existing conditions. Shows that he really means it. So that kind of hypocrisy, I think, was hard to take, and it's hard to take the president seriously. But look, we're committed to getting things done for the American people on that agenda I just described. If the president's serious about driving down healthcare costs, we're going to give him a bill to do it, to drive down the cost of prescription drugs. If he's serious about a bold infrastructure plan, we're going to give him a bill to do that. And if he's serious about taking on the corruption in Washington, which you didn't mention last night, but we think is a really important priority, we're going to pass H.R. 1 to do that, and the president should sign.
Let me ask you about the thing that's going to precede all of that discussion. That's keeping the government open on February 15th and coming to an agreement on whether there will be money for the president's border barrier wall, fence, etc. You have these 17 Democrats and Republicans working on this. You have a vision inside that conference. Does it look like Democrats are going to give money for a barrier on the border?
I think what you're going to see is the conference committee do what appropriators do, come to an agreement. Democrats have always supported border security. We think it's important to use taxpayer money in a wise way that actually achieves the objective. So there will be investments in rebuilding the intervention where most of the drugs come into this country, making sure we're filling 2,000 Border Patrol positions which are unfilled. Why? Because we can't retain folks because of the quality of infrastructure at these facilities, making sure we're using satellites and drones, and I'm sure it will include some fencing, some barrier, maybe a repair to some existing wall. There already is 700 miles of wall. So I think it will be a combination that will actually achieve the objective. I hope the president will sort of stay out of the way, let the appropriators do their work. I think if he does, they'll reach an agreement that will keep the government open.
Let me ask you this, though, because you know that a lot of folks in the Democratic caucus, both up on the Hill, but also Democratic voters, they don't see the necessity for the wall. What are Republicans offering in return? And if you give money, a couple $1 billion, whatever the figure is for the wall, will your constituents say, well, you gave to the president here and didn't get anything back?
No, I think, look, it's a myth to think that Democratic voters or Democratic members of Congress don't support border security. We do, and we always understood that meant making investments in securing the border.
But you could have that, could you not, and say demand permanent protection for Dreamers?
Look, I think we are going to have a comprehensive immigration bill, and we're going to protect Dreamers, and we're going to do that. I don't think it's appropriate to do it in the context of this negotiation. This is about one specific issue, securing the borders for a limited purpose. We have a limited period of time to do it before February 15th, but there is no question Democrats are going to move